have a habit. They have a little bit of a reputation for making things difficult for teams. Now, whether or not they win it is a very different story, but I've got faith that we might see an incredible showcase today.
For sure. I think the path for Heretics to win, by the way, I think map 1 might be a requirement. The desk obviously touched on it. The Karachi hardpoint for map 4, Toronto are completely godlike on that map. So I don't know if Heretics necessarily have the best odds there, but 6 stars their first map pick, and then their S&D, like it seems like for Miami, has sort of hit their final form. So a 1-2-5 in my mind is the most likely path for Heretics to win, but I know Toronto definitely want to come out with the fierceness, maybe avenge a previous loss they had.
Obviously, both teams going to just be heading into this P1. All about splitting it for Miami Heretics, but not really getting an awful lot here. Just Lucky trying to stem the tide. Ultra will take control and get the first glut of points.
Yeah, very cheeky play by Envoy. Nice little reposition into the drop shot. Lines 2 players up and knocks both of them down. And a good chunk of time coming through on P1, but looks like Miami doing a nice job using their attacks and nades just to strike back and keep things mixy. Next though, last man standing around the zone. Him and Envoy together cleaning house, and I mean Envoy right now killing everybody in sight. As far as opening breaks in P1 goes, this is completely dominant there from Toronto, going into the rotation with a 40-point lead. That is sizable.
It really is. This is where the difference will be made, though. This rotation. Ultra, if they wander into it and break it very, very quickly, it's going to be bad for the Heretics, but they're holding on so far. We're just making sure nobody comes to the water route, but Envoy continuing to just push the tempo. 6-3 at the moment, but it's all been rebuffed. Miami hold for now.
And there's Iron Boots on old Insight. Well, unfortunately has to deal with 2 players, and Lucky makes the aggressive play, captures Scrap as well. And now poor Envoy, last man standing, might be able to pick up one, but the trade instantaneous. Heretics looking pretty sweet here on P2, and now the backspawn's actually rolling through, so this is still a good time to get on top of the rotation you're thinking about. Insight might get traded out, so the rotation should go towards the Heretics, but I think Ultra might honestly be happy for it just to keep the break and get those extra points. That's like 30 seconds of scrap time as well, so they're going to maintain their 40-point lead.
Lucky's actually going to take that away from them, so has just stopped it a few seconds. For the Heretics, all smiles so far. We'll be up to Ultra to try and mount a bit of an attack, but already just with that trade from Lucky has pushed them a little bit further away. Inside trying to find Vico, and Envoy will find that trade for it. Vico's still playing Peekaboo towards the back. Envoy with another one. Now the pressure will come. The Heretics have lost their members. They will spawn out. They'll lose the hill.
Yeah, that is fantastic patience coming in from inside as well. That's sort of the perfect coordination. He's never going to break it by himself. He lets Envoy go get in the mix, and Envoy, fantastic awareness to play for the guy cutting him off before he goes for Vico in the back. So not an easy hill to break, but Toronto make it look that way, and now Envoy, he can just continues his path of destruction. 13-6 for the moment, and I know Envoy, a player that has occasionally had some slow starts and hard point. Not here, not in the final stage, coming up before champs. Envoy right now completely on point.
And that's a scary prospect for them because he's continuing to do exactly that. 14-6 now. Looking for more of those Miami Heretics players to come through, and almost gets a turn and burn. Not going to happen for them. Reinforcements flowing through in the form of Kleenex, and the trades will fall the way of Toronto Ultra. They're going to grab this first little control around the hill, but Miami is stacking.
They're going to do what they can, but we talked about slow starts for Envoy on one side where he's popping off. Vehicle, a slow start for him at 2-10, and I mean, he's been bit by that bug in the past few hard points, and Toronto Ultra taking full advantage of it. I mean, just not even close for the moment. Destructive in the kill feed. I mean, 3 out of 4 players positive and by a decent margin. I think Envoy and Kleenex, it might turn into just a kill race as another 4-man in the feed. Toronto as perfect as it gets, and Heretics, I mean, they're squared up just to fight for the final 20 seconds of scrap time, but Scrap is here, wants to make it his.
We're going to find out. I remember seeing the Heretics make this reversal just a little while ago. Can they hit the second gear in this next set of rotations? Like I said, they've done it before. They will take some monumental lifting, and it's a little bit of a different caliber of team they're facing.
That's mid Probably the biggest difference maker there, right? Like coming back against Toronto Ultra, not an easy thing to do. Ultra typically the team that is capable of making the great comebacks and icing up when it matters most. But Envoy, this was his sweet spot over on P1 the first go around, and it might be a sweet spot again. 19-9 on a 3 spree, and nearly snaps on Lucky as well. Takes a weird timing for him to actually fall, but where he does, his teammates obviously there to pick him up. Insight dishing out some damages. Miami attempting to go for the break. I'm expecting honestly the kill feed to turn purple, but overwhelming Insight for the moment. But his best shot to stay alive and send in Envoy for the kills. Ultra continuing to fight.
Envoy really just setting some pace. 21 and 11. Just a huge amount of interactions as he continues to push the tempo with his team. Kleenex now trying to do the exact same thing. Almost a carbon copy of last time. Ultra have P1. Heretics are first at P2. But will it be the same story? Envoy trying to make it not so. Already been stunned, trying to get out of there with his life. Will eventually fall. Metals gets 2. Real will get another one. And this push is stalled.
And finally, you get the extra break. Metals finally picks up a 2-piece for the squad, and that's what it takes to actually get a clean 4 down. So first time virtually the entire game. Miami Heretics in complete control. Getting the cutoff kills towards the middle of the map as well. So Vehicle getting active, and now Lucky maybe in his brand new home of the pool. Underwater gunfight comes out on top, and Ultra not able to sniff this hill. Lucky on a 4 spree. I was going to say maybe you need him to get the crews to turn the game around, but similar situation. The spawns have flipped on P2 again, but I'd say this time if Heretics can sort of hold this down and rotate, might be their path to get back in the game.
Unfortunately, they're losing a couple of kills across it here. I didn't know who was going to come out on top, but it looks like Heretics for the next. It will be Ultra for the scrap, and the problem being is that Ultra might just be okay with that scrap. They can put a lot of pressure here onto the Heretics, not letting them get too much of that lead back. They'll be sitting very, very pretty as they sit at 174, but Ultra now mounting the pressure. Bodies trying to pull through. Already lost 1 on this trade. Here it goes. Lucky, though, wise to it, just cuts them down, and Ultra will have to try again.
That's beautiful, though. That is a big 3 down, and right now for Heretics, the situation is get a near full 60. You're back in the game. If you get broken on this, well, you might just break on 6-star, but the hold, so far, so good. Real doing a little dance, dodging some nades, winning the gunfight, and ready to snap on more players coming down the steps. But Ultra, again, applying that pressure. They are just nailing around this hill.
Oh, Miami starting to try to make this comeback and doing everything they can. Let's find out, though, how they are feeling in the comms. The Miami Heretics, listen in.
Vale, estoy pulsando la derecha, no todos los estatua,
Inside habrá rotado, habrá rotado inside.
Está muerto. He puesto blindado, creo que no, creo que no. Arriba, un tiro. Inside. Pon un tiro Toby. En su lado, de frente de Toby, muerto. En su lado del con y el spawner Toby.
Están puntos
Scrap te ha
Toby.
salido un P2, creo,
Sí, me ha dicho en medio.
Muerto Toby.
Me hacen a mí que outfit, chavales.
Tenemos jump up,
Me he tirado abajo,
no tengo con.
La pin de larga,
Tengo el jump up todo. Mírame abajo derecha, ¿podéis?
No puedo. Mira, te miro.
Tengo jump up bien.
la pin de larga.
Jump up, un muerto atrás, jump up y office. Jump up y office, chavales, son 2. Con scrap, uno con y 2 de frente, chavales. Oye, de la izquierda,
Es que lo muerto,
Con mata. He cambiado close derecha. He bajado el stone. ¿Qué está close tumbado?
Los derecha.
La punta y su lado.
Tengo un trophy.
Abrir medio, sí, estoy muerto.
Tengo
Una bala.
Tengo chal.
Sí, me van a matar. Una bala en con, en el otro lado. Arriba,
Son dos
office,
tiros,
scrap y weak, no puedo.
Son 2 ahí, te pusieron cerca al lado izquierdo,
Vamos a abrir medio, ¿no?
Hay que abrir dobles,
Voy por dobles,
Te voy a estar por medio,
Voy por dobles yo con Lucky. Por abajo, bro.
Voy con vosotros yo también.
Esto es una doble si pega piña.
Hay uno en el siguiente, bro.
Inside está
Y otra pincha larga. Blanco y
Vale, hemos flipeado. Voy a jugar por anterior yo. Muerto un ticuarto dentro, está muy tocado, Javi, no te suicides. Son 2 dentro del hardpoint.
Son dos ahí.
2 dentro del punto.
Son tres, bro. Están todos por DJ, bro. Están stackeando.
Izquierda estatua.
Te apoyo. Aguanta, no lo vi,
Sí,
bro.
me han pegado piña. Está Wii con piña su
Apoyo,
control. Está castaleando dentro el crap. Un tiro. Este punto me toca derecha.
Muerto.
Vale, aguanta vivo.
No, está el lado.
Nuestro con el suyo, aguanta,
Ah,
meta.
me mata, fuck. Están con.
He pegado piña bajo el plat.
Os apoyo yo de cara.
Está haciendo al DJ, ahí no
Hay que abrir izquierda.
¿No te he escuchado?
DJ, sí, toca por la vena. Piña, no puedo hacer nada.
Tiro piña DJ.
Abrir doble yo, voy a ver doble yo.
Está bien a la derecha. Y otro en nuestro lado.
Well, the Heretics have tried. They mounted the comeback, but it's a P1 downfall again. They have not got close. Game is getting out of hand completely, and maybe just a weakness in their gameplay, Chance.
Or maybe just a strength in Toronto's. This has been the best P1 holds we've seen on this map. Consistently so as well. I know for Heretics, the most success they've had has been on P2, where they've at least traded out a decent bit of time, but CleanX, the thorn in their side, has just slipped the net, got the clearance towards the hill, and his teammate Snow all eyes towards the back of the point. CleanX out here just spinning Heretics in circles, and well, he can win the gunfights too.
Yeah, first time they haven't got control at all, and they're just trying to find the CleanX on a 4 streak, trying to stay alive. Looking for his 5th.
Oh my God.
Continuing to play his life. The reach out for the 6, not the 7. As the Heretics try desperately to hold on, but it is almost too little too late. Even with 30 seconds here, surely they can't get the rotation as well.
Yeah, and especially because like they've been spawn flipping a few times as well, so that's sort of the nature of it when you push a little bit too far. But dealing with the pressure for the moment, and maybe Vehicle can make the plays. Well, there you see the first spawn out. So Toronto Ultra, but this is where you flip the spawns. And maybe a 2v2 over towards time, but Metals wins a big one. Toronto Ultra now can no longer win on the old time, and they actually have won the rotation towards new. So you have Heretics in a situation. It is going to be 244 to 181, but they have the rotation to that money hill. If they can stave off this pressure and somehow rotate, then we'll finally have ourselves a game. But CleanX, obviously, cruise missile in the back pocket. Heretics have so much they have to deal with.
Here we go. Incoming cruise missile. The Heretics will have to move. Ultra will strike as soon as this comes in. All the information pouring into the ears. There's the first kill. The Ultra will try and take the stairs, but Insight and CleanX have combined now. Insight gets a second, and they are pouring into it with 4 seconds left to go. That is a clean break, and that is the game.
Yeah, that is absolute perfection. There's the occasional team that'll mess up the cruise missiles in those moments, but Ultra, not that type of squad. I mean, you saw it on the mini-map. We're watching Insight swim up, get in positioning, wait for the jump, everybody get grouped up together. So many times when you hear in the comms, hey guys, I have a cruise, nobody die. There's always that one guy in the kill feed that dies just a little bit too soon and annoys you, but not in that moment for Toronto. Again, they have it down to a T. And really just unfortunate for Heretics. The CleanX started putting them on skates on P2 because maybe they would have had the opportunity for the comeback, but maybe just another slow start there out of Miami. Toronto is not a team you can afford to do that against.
No, it certainly is. And we were talking about it earlier, right? Miami Heretics, they have made comebacks on that map before, but different caliber of team, unfortunately. And I don't know what it is why they start off so slow. I'm going to say probably Envoy and the P1 hold really hit them hard. And then you are right, they did split the P2. Just weren't able to really just grab that huge chunk of time that would have given them a little bit of pressure off.
Yeah, and another thing in the stats as well. I mean, pressure is going to be one thing, but also like the teamwork and assists. Like Toronto are putting on pressure with the teamwork. Even in these moments where Lucky's picking up the 2 pieces, Ultra almost always coordinated. One of the few players you can sort of catch on an island is Scrap. But Scrap, I mean, you know, one of the most dominant players we have in the league. But I saw on the assist front, I think Toronto Ultra had 51 assists in total combined as a team. And I mean, Heretics, not a team that is shy of teamwork either. They've been finding their form recently, but maybe 15 less assists than their counterpart Ultra. Again, always incredible teamwork, and this is CleanX just schmoving around the map, setting up his teammates for some easy kills.
Yeah, he's starting to feel way more comfortable in the second half of that, and you are right. P2, a lot of his influence, just making sure they couldn't do anything, and the Heretics were hunting. And then the final flurry, the push, the cruise missile, and the Heretics, well, they've done so much to get back to that point. You cannot stop the tide.
No, not at all. And shout out for Envoy for being the front man on that tide as well. Absolutely popping off. But first P1, Toronto Ultra, 38-0. Goose-egged him the first time around. Second P2 from 127 to 161. So they get 35 points. Heretics only get 6. In the last go around, Heretics get a single point, and Toronto able to get 40. So on P1's quick mass, they outscored them maybe 90 points to 15. And obviously for a 50-point game, getting stuffed on P1, the absolute difference maker there on 6-star.
Well, that's something that we'll have to go back to it. Is it Toronto too strong on P1, or have Heretics got to rework that in the VOD? We'll find out, but that is a story for another time. Crouching Search and Destroy is up next. Chance, how are we feeling about this Search and Destroy game between these two teams?
Super interesting map for a few different reasons. Like, if you want to start with the side of the Heretics, the conversation is like how good their Search and Destroy has been. They've won 8 of their last 10 S&Ds. They have the #1 rate for like opening duels, like your first blood category, but they also are playing new maps now. They were grinding out 6-star, had a ton of high rise as well. That's where they had their most success. Teams have finally caught on. They're banning one of these 2 maps against them. So now we're seeing extra maps come into play. So Karachi has been recent for Heretics. They've gone 1-1 the past 2 times they've played it, but they haven't shown that they're as strong as their previous maps. And of course, now if we turn the conversation to Ultra, Karachi used to be their bread and butter. They have suffered a bit of a fall off on that map, but to me, that just means it's going to be a square up. Heretics in great form, but not quite on this map, and Ultra looking to get back to where they were in stage 1. They're looking for perfection on this map. So an interesting battle to really figure out where these 2 teams stand.
Well, here are the statistics you can already see in the Monster Energy pre-game. Their best mode is Search and Destroy, second in win rate, and first in everything else. But I don't know, you are right, this is an interesting one. I do feel like with Ultra over the last few months as well, disappointing too, going into Major 3, obviously looked great but fell at the last hurdle. Realistically, they are looking to improve just enough to start squeaking out the competition. We are entering the final major and then champs soon after. No more excuses. I don't know whether leaving the bomb there was something that's just ruined my entire point.
Nah, it's all good. I mean, you miss it just barely, might have bumped into somebody, but you want to get the pre-nades off anyway. You want to get the pre-nades off so you can get some map space in control, or else Vehicle is just going to punish you straight off the opening rip. No slow starts this time for Vehicle. A couple missed nades or maybe off on the timing, and he just rips through you and picks up 2. I mean, that's Heretics again on Karachi. First blood rate out of control. It might be a slightly different map for him, but they looked on point right there. Instantaneous first round win.
Wow, that was very, very quick, and something that Ultra will have to start thinking about. And it might even just change the way they play the attacks in future, simply because of how aggressive Vehicle was here off the rip. They weren't ready for it. They're going to have to be ready for it in the future, and Vehicle just went hunting.
Yeah, and I don't even know if he had like the old lightweight boots on for that as well, but it felt like he got into position just a second before Ultra even had a thought for him to be able to get there. So Heretic's not a stranger to absolutely running it down, and maybe Vehicle off the rip. A lot of nades coming out down B Street. Ultra, a lot of players there, but everybody able to dodge them and get back in position. Envoy, close spot. Vehicle throwing shoulders, and he gets caught. Envoy, beautiful first blood.
Playing super confident today. I don't know who warmed him up, but been on fine form. And that just means that the Miami Heretics are now worried about this as Envoy gets another one. Confidence flowing. They've seen him though. Medals knows where he is. I don't know if that matters. Real will get 1 more kill, but he's in serious trouble. Medals finally finds Envoy, but will fall, and now Medals alone. A 1 versus 2, a 1 versus 1. Gets out with his life.
Playing for the kill too. Didn't even want to go for the bomb. Problem is, CleanX got active, already looped the map in. For the moment, Medals clueless to it. And with 30 seconds left, at some point you got to move towards the bomb. I know Attach can clutch when he sprints around the map, but tougher in this moment, especially with CleanX top 3rd.
Medals doesn't have a lot of options. He has to go get that bomb or find a player, and they're going to happen. Medals going to find him as well. Locks up the clutch, locks up the game. Unbelievable. The Miami Heretics, after suffering under Envoy, find the win.
Yeah, 2v4 right there, and Medals, I mean, he's already had a pretty spectacular stage. He had a bit of a drop off towards the middle section of the year, but at the end of last stage, especially on LAN and now, this man has found his form. And a big win as well. Doesn't get to do a full loop across the map, but cuts it up top 3rd, gets some great timing against CleanX, and a 2v4 clutch is a necessary bounce back round, because we've seen Heretics again play this map twice in the past week or so, and Vehicle loves to get towards that archway and just throw some shoulders. Envoy, I mean, he capitalizes off of it, but his team drops the ball.
Envoy trying to be aggressive again, hasn't worked out. Has fallen to Real. And the Heretics are certainly just having a little bit of luck here, but CleanX will get 1 back. Cleaning out that top 3rd, very important. Scrap being aggressive, takes down another. the game has shifted back into the hands of the Ultra.
And that's just not a route that you were expecting Scrap to be able to take. And now you got Insight planting the bomb. CleanX can spot out number 4 on the minimap, Real for the full rotation. And now Scrap could just play for the trades. Knows the guy was around bottom green. Timing goes great for him, but maybe not the right pair of glasses on. Interesting moment now for the 2v2, but CleanX should win the gunfight and guarantee the round.
That could have been disastrous, but still it's just a funny anecdote. Lucky looking towards the bomb. Has not seen anybody. I think he's now been spotted yet. Gonna find him. CleanX will clear it up and Ultra will get their round on the board.
Maybe the glasses of CleanX needs to recommend him to Scrap, because again, just very awkward timing with that player climbing the ladder. A fame moment, if you will.
Moving swiftly on. Let's see how they adjust for this. It's been very aggressive from both sides around B and top 3. I wonder how these teams are going to start countering it. Probably with more aggression, if I have my guess.
Well, I'm curious as to how the Heretics are going to respond, because they love the B hits, and Vehicle again loves throwing shoulders over towards Arches to get it down. But if Envoy jumps on you, you see different strat coming through, middle of the map taking control of, and Real maybe waiting for the moment to make the play. How good is the timing? It is beautiful. Renetti for the job, and Metal's gun Scrap as well. A 4v2 for Heretics to go up 3-1 in the round.
Eagle should be able to find Envoy here. The timing will be crucial. Envoy will win the first one. Is he going to win the second? Looking for Lucky. Lucky will take him down. 1 versus 3 now for CleanX. Will he be in the right position? Arrival 9 up top.
Yeah, they're playing with so much respect too. You see Heretics, they want to get the information before they make a move, and that's why that's bomb down. 1v3, CleanX, massive opportunity, and keep in mind he is on a 4 spree as well. If he clutches this, utter devastation for the Heretics.
He is moving. You see Metals, he's going to see Metals as well. Metals has taken bullets. Metals has to run. CleanX still moving fast. That bomb has gone down. He's looking for him. It's a long range shot. He's got him as well. Metals is behind him. I don't think he knows. He's going to see, oh my goodness, not to be. And CleanX is all of us with that reaction. Almost poetry in motion. But no top 5 plays for you.
That is nerve-wracking. Good Lord. Yeah, and again, that is exactly why Heretics were playing with so much respect for CleanX, because he can do things like that. An extra burst away, or maybe just more ammo in the clip. And CleanX might be able to get that done, but that is a big moment for Miami. You clutch the 4 versus 2. You don't let it slip through the cracks, and you shut down that cruise missile as well. So a 3-1 lead. Things right now singing sweet on Karachi, and Ultra going to be spreading the map just a little bit as well. CleanX might be in a gunfight fairly shortly. Maybe not just 1, maybe make it 2. There's number 1, and no trades rolling through. Can't chase CleanX. He would absolutely put you on a mixtape.
Oh, he's still moving. I think he's found a play. He knows where Metals is going to be. He sees Vehicle as well, but Vehicle will see him calling for reinforcements. CleanX decides, I'm out of here. This is not worth me taking them on. And it is very much a spread across the map.
Call of Duty timing all over the place. I was going to say CleanX never actually spotted that player top red, so Scrap gets a nice kill, but traded out instantly. And meanwhile, Insight's just been hanging out waiting. Hey, man, if you get the bomb down, I'm in the perfect position. But Vehicle, look at that angle. Nice little hop up from the sandbags, bomb down. And a 1v2 now from Insight, and Vehicle does just enough to stay alive.
Oh, he's caught it as well. Knows where Metals is going to be. They're going to challenge from every direction. No way to shoot in 2 different directions. And the Heretics will get that round, but it was a little bit chaotic. Everybody kind of spread out, and it came down to the individual gunfights.
Yeah, well, individual gunfights and just good positioning as well. Not just the player top red that could trade out the kill from Scrap, but again, Vehicle, just a very cheeky spot to be able to check that bomb from. But here's a look at least the first kill that came through from Envoy. Unfortunate that that door is too thick, and maybe Envoy not the right gun he wanted in that moment. MCW there, able to take down the Renetti at close range. Those doors, so much fun to play with.
Not for Envoy in that one. And now push through market. Envoy again being aggressive. Scrap will find the first one onto Lucky though. They've lost a little bit of momentum, but it is going to be a trade back instantly. These two teams really able to counter each other across the map. 3 versus 3. Going to be a big fight here. Scrap almost walked into death.
Oh, and look at this. Vehicles actually get the bomb over towards B, so Toronto think the play is going to be over towards A because they didn't have any space, and they're going to get the kill as well, but there's Vehicles striking towards the B zone, so Ultra, a moment of panic. What site's he going to be at? Well, you've cleared out one. Insight's got B, and well, now Scrap got the intel. A is going to be the play. Metal spots him in the sky, but these are going to be interesting gunfights. And Scrap, well, he sees everything now.
Trying to make the right play. Metal's going towards the back here. Vehicle playing cautious. I think they know now this will be committed. And Scrap gets all the way through, but it's called. Vehicle knows. Inside of 1 versus 2. Does not know where Metals has gone. Gonna see it. Did you see him at the corner of his eye? I don't think he did. Doesn't matter. Gonna go for the kill. Oh my goodness, no! Vehicle with the movement burns him out of the map. And oh my goodness. Heretics get the round.
Yeah, that's some of the most insane Call of Duty timing on so many different fronts. Scrap spots both those players out for Miami. He knows that one crossed back over towards P2. He knew the Vehicle was near bomb, but Vehicle spots Scrap just barely as he goes through the window, so he can make the read to challenge him off bomb. And then Vehicle gets the call out from his teammate as Insight comes flying out of top red. He gets spotted as well. So every single player, they're centering and camera positioning right now on point just to capture players out of the corner of their eye. But a 5 spree from Vehicle, a 4 from Metals, and 1 round away from Heretics, slamming Toronto on one of their best maps.
Let's see if it ends with Heretics having a great time.
Yes, it will.
Metals and Vehicle already, and now incoming cruise missile. Toronto Ultra found themselves in the worst possible position. It has not been a great S&D for them. Scrap will get 1, stays alive. A 2 versus 3. A little bit of never mind. Never mind. It's a 1 versus 3 Insight. It chanced the clutch, my friend, and make history.
Yeah, and he doesn't have bomb as well. So if it wasn't difficult enough to start with, near impossible now, but a little bit of time to play with, and now a 1 versus 2. And that's an insane angle. I think one of his teammates called that out for him, and Insight's going to take the timing. He made this cross without being spotted, so I don't know, maybe a 20% chance at clutching this now.
That bomb being down is just a nightmare for him. Not found anybody all the way around. Is he going to check the left? No, he's not. Down he falls. Insight not able to make it, and the Heretics will have a dominant S&D against Toronto Ultra. 1-1 in the series.
And 20% was way too kind. Maybe make it 2 at best, but that is absolute slammage. And for the past 2 times that Miami played this map, they have a loss on Karachi very recently, but a bunch of like round 11, sort of 6-5 games that they're going to. Maybe they've just learned incredibly quickly and adjusted from their mistakes. Because even the round where Envoy sort of plays off the intel, gets the first 2 picks, Heretics clutch a 2v4, and after that complete domination, it's not like they needed every single first blood to make it happen. They just simply outclassed Toronto. And from Ultra, I gotta say, that's a bad look. 6-1 loss, you get 2v4'd as well. A team that typically does not make mistakes had absolutely no answers for Vehicle and Metals. I think Toronto Ultra might need to go back to the drawing board because that was their map pick as well.
Well, I did say this is never going to be an easy game. The Heretics, they always start making it difficult for the teams in every single one of their games. And this means we're going to see at least a map 4 between the two. How it continues, though, we go on a high-rise control after this. And Chance, how you feel?
I feel very scared for Miami. I know High Rise is sort of the map that Ultra have played the least for the controlled game mode, but I have a lot of faith in their slaying ability. Envoy still has a hot gun, and then Scrap on this map might be devastating. So they got to win one of the next 2 respawns for Miami. I don't know which one it's going to be.
All right. Well, we are going to find out. Coming up after the break, we'll have map 3 control. Miami Heretics versus Toronto Ultra. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you right after this.
Upgrade your game with the Scuff, the official controller of the Call of Duty League. Scuff Gaming is doing an ultimate giveaway where you and a friend can win a chance to go to COD Champs this year. The giveaway includes 2 VIP tickets, travel expenses, and more. To enter, scan the QR code on the page or go to scuff.co/CDL and enter your email. Terms and conditions apply. The Call of Duty Week is brought to you by Monster Energy, the official energy drink of the CDL.
Ladies and gentlemen, FaZe Black are your Toronto Open champions. Cammy was spotted initially. Capsule's gonna drop, so Cammy with a huge opportunity to clutch up a 1v2. Make it a 1v1. Has to grab the bomb though, or has to find the kill. Classic, right to the courtyard. Cammy spots him, and Cammy pulls off the 1 versus 2. Classic is doing it all right now. He might actually reach 40 kills in this hard point.
Really come alive. Classic's gonna hit the flank. Classic, the perfect timing. They line up there. 42 and 26
on the flanks, hitting the routes, making the right play at the right time. And we all know it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And well, these boys, they finish strong. Now on Paul X here for a 1v2.
So Paul X clutches it, goes to around 11.
Oh, Paul X! Oh my goodness! What a 1v2 to keep his team alive.
What a Herculean comeback coming through for FaZe Black.
They're not out of it just yet. They have brought this one all the way back, and now the rotation looking solid. FaZe Black in position to stop it here. Asim gets arenaed 1. The sunset could be good for another. FaZe Black trying to steal away the hard point, and they might just be good for it. Stuns, nades, everything being thrown in. Dip diving, ducking and sliding, trying to find a way through. But FaZe Black will not let you win the hard point. They come all the way back. This will be the final push. Brack through the middle, able to clean up 1. Needs to put together more as he cuts through mid. Finds Major Maniac. That will be the second kill. Now they're on the point with 2 seconds to spare. They're finding the kills. No respawns. They were tested, but they were never bested. They were pressed, but they were never finessed. Ladies and gentlemen, FaZe Black are your Toronto Open champions.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Call of Duty League. We are live with Miami Heretics versus Toronto Ultra. So far, Ultra managed to get that hard point over the line and take map number 1, but then the Heretics swung a mean right hook and took the S&D 6-1 against them. Now, though, we move into high-rise control, and Chance, I feel like it could be all Ultra.
And yeah, well, an Envoy might be a leading contributor as to why. I know it's an AR dominant map, but he has been making absolute plays, including, well, on high-rise control. Nice little 1.5 KD. When your SMGs pick up what is now, honestly, the God Gun, well, they can absolutely thrive. They love when they can abuse the headshot multiplier.
Well, we'll see if he can put that same performance on. I will say he is looking like that kind of Envoy today. Confident and moving. But one player does not a team make. The rest of Ultra will have to try and do a little bit better. It's been a quiet couple of games from Scrap and Insight so far, and the Heretics know they want this point while they are sitting pretty in the standings. Can they overcome a player like Envoy?
Well, I mean, again, we're just talking about him being sort of like in classic Envoy world champion form, especially in control. A nice little 0.4 bump in the KD department. You go from slightly below average to effectively godlike. So yeah, Envoy has cranked things up to be certain. I mean, especially so again, he's had some slow starts, maybe 10 maps in a row where he's dropping 0.5s in hardpoint. Absolute dominant in map number 1. So high expectations for him and the rest of Ultra to look good on this map. Heretics might have a 4-9 record, but I think the style that sort of Heretics play on high rise, unless they're just massively outslaying, I think they might be in for a bad time.
Well, let's find out. The underdogs of Heretics might have a point to prove, but that is not going to be the start they wanted. A little bit of pressure from Ultra here, straight on the way.
Kleenex just kills faster.
Oh, he's moving. Kleenex coming back like a horrible smell, just will not leave them alone. That's going to be the second tick on the way. It should really be deflected. There's a lot of Heretics here. Nades flowing like water, but somehow still alive. Scrap doesn't even care. Gets it. Oh, he pulls his gunshot and dies to Lucky. And they miss out on the A capture by a tiny margin chance.
Yeah, nope. Scrap wins that gunfight. He'd have been there to give you 2, and the A zone would have fallen. But Scrap saw the play before the bullets actually connected. Maybe he needs to pick up Kleenex's MCW because Kleenex, I mean, again, he just kills faster.
Well, we'll see what Inside can do now. Trying to make sure they don't get put straight into that spawn trap, and so far they haven't been. Only one player going to be out here. Envoy stopping the clock. Shouldn't really be able to capture this alone, and won't. Metal's in a too good of a position. Scrap gets another kill, and this is all about survival for Ultra. They just don't want to be pinned in.
And big win by Metals as well, so he keeps the pressure up on the spawners, but good reads there from Scrap. Threading the needle on the gunfight. Now Vehicle, the man on the zone. Well, timing awkward on every different section. Vehicle's doing a dance and trying to be a little bit of bait, but nice read and snap there from inside, but through the fence can't give you 2. Clock is going to be stopped because Kleenex is on this B zone, but the B zone going to take a long time before it falls. He just needs the reinforcements of his teammates, and a trophy could have been nice as well.
Ultra all over the place. Envoy managed to get that kill, but that's all they've got. 18 seconds in a dream. Ultra thought they could have had that A capture early, but they have now fallen by the wayside. Only 2 ticks to their name, and they're coming off spawn. This is not the attack they wanted. Not even a last hurrah. They really aren't getting these trades at all. Real has time to reload, has time to just wait for his teammates to get here as well. Scrap's not going to make the 2-piece, and that's going to be the first round. Ultra ambitious, but ultimately not good enough.
And yeah, I'm going to stay on my theme as well. If Heretics aren't massively outslaying, I think on this map they're going to have a bad time. They end up outslaying by 6 kills, which a decent enough margin, but that round really does come down to just Scrap sort of stopping the kill a little bit too soon. He was looking for the 2-piece before he finished the 1, and I mean, just a truly unfortunate moment. So Ultra, instead of getting the A zone, the extra minute, and able to play patient, they just have to flood into death. That was just, again, an incredibly small mistake, but Heretics fully capitalize, and now Real, I mean, on a 3 spree, 6-4 as Heretics. Nice blood over towards the A zone they go.
Straight onto it as well. Lots of bodies. Trophy's going to be out. Envoy, though, will get that first kill to slow it down. Real Chow's going to get it. Stays alive. The other player going to be behind him. It's going to be Kleenex and Scrap combining. They have wiped them back off of the map as Metals tries to find more kills. And for Heretics, it goes back into the point. You have to just stay alive and stay out of that spawn.
Oh, too slow on the trade. He's looking to trade Scrap. Gets baited into an awkward position, and insight there to take him down. And Heretics, this is operation just get out of your spawn. Most aggressive player, Real. Well, welcome back to the spawn. Everybody stuck in the windows. Players like Insight keeping the right side at bay. And, well, guys like Envoy responsible for the left. The blender setup indeed in a tough moment for Miami. Slang, they got to start cranking it up.
Oh, there they go. The AR's going to work. Trying to lock the door, keep them away. Scrap out of better position, should find 1, maybe the second. Oh, he's pushed out as well, will go down, but fortunately there's plenty of Ultra players still to keep them in.
Yeah, this is just painful. Inside again on a 4 spree, responsible for the right windows, and it finally falls, and no trades. Real picks up 2. Kleenex doesn't get the 1, and Miami finally, they've made it out. Back to sort of the 50-50 split over towards the zone. Nice team shots coming through, but I think the trophy maybe just a little bit too late. You see Insight with the Semtex, and Kleenex absolutely bodies Vehicle in that gunfight. So Heretics had to fight tooth and nail to get out of your spawn. Well, welcome right back.
Oh, they have got them, but they're going to try one last little push here. Medals will get it. They've got bodies. That clock will stop. Inside, flying over. We'll find the first, but not the second. Will they even get a tick out of this game? That's what they're trying to do now. Just hold it for long enough, and unfortunately, back in the spawn you go. Ultra already set up. Scrap has the irons, has the sight, has the position, but falls. Doesn't matter. Clock has been run out, and they hold them to nothing. Technically, Ultra won those first 2 rounds.
Sure, I guess.
Nothing.
Well, yeah, I mean, the 0 ticks, absolutely, if you're playing for the defense for the round 5, Toronto Ultra, I mean, effectively going to be secure unless Heretics absolutely stuff them on this upcoming round. But I know Toronto just want to sort of make up for the previous mistake, get an offensive win on board as well, because at least round 1, they were as close as they could possibly be.
Let's see. How did these adjustments happen last time? Ultra on the attack came very, very close to getting that A early. Ultimately fell to nothing. So they might go for it again. Envoy hitting the low wall run. ClearNex opening up proceedings. And Envoy finds something here. ClearNex actually just diving straight in. Envoy with the perfect timing.
This would be all 4 if you can get it. I guess everybody's going to be stuck in their spawn anyway, but Real was last man standing. 3 players stuck in that left window. Insight's got 1 cross. CleanX has the other. A nice stun to get that first kill, but that is only the first problem to solve. Still, Heretics just barely now able to make it out of the windows. For a defensive round, this is a painful looking setup right now. Toronto Ultra again, spawn trapping effectively from both sides just about until the triple headshots roll through. Nice little moment there from Heretics and staying alive so far in this round.
Again, another point, just not able to capture it at the last second. Will this come back to haunt them again? Inside, looking for Vehicle up top. Vehicle just better in that gunfight. Envoy now was worried about who's around him. We'll stop the clock here, but massively outnumbered. No reinforcements, so he's just going to just try and play the kills.
What is going on with Envoy's
Is his gun stuck on tactical aim?
What button did he hit on the D-pad to make that possible? I thought it was just because he was hugging the wall and it was just a weird moment, but I don't know. Envoy dealing with some stuff while Heretics gonna have to deal with the B zone. Double stack coming through, and for Heretics, nobody in position to stop it. So that's what Ultra was looking for, the extra minutes of the clock. And Envoy right now, 9 and 16. Maybe if he figures out to fix the L trigger, might be good to go.
If I remember correctly, I haven't done it in a while. I think you have to hold down the L trigger and push a button on the D-pad to get it out of that. Just not seen it in some time, but yeah, obviously irrelevant.
You just never know. I mean, it might have just been a graphical thing in Codcaster as well, but you know, I'm a suspicious person.
Well, never mind. Hopefully they can redeem themselves. They have the first point. They have a minute left, but they've been thrown into the blender. This now becomes about a hope and a prayer. Can you find a way out of this?
It's looking like not. Those are ridiculous shots coming through from CleanX, but loses the gunfight anyway. And I mean, now everybody truly stuck in their spawn. Ultra only 8 lives, make it 7 remaining as well. Heretics couldn't get out of this, and by the looks of it, Ultra not going to be able to either.
Here we go, trying to get out. They've got a bit of a trade, but it is just not the trades they want. Ultra have no respawns remaining. Vehicle will bring them down to 3. And this is it. That's all they got. Pour out that window. Hope for the best. 18 seconds and a dream. I think it might even be too far.
They're just playing for the kills as well. So, yeah, Ultra not able to cook anything up. That's another good round from Heretics. Strong on the defensive side of things. And I think both their defensive rounds, they've just sort of had those small moments that they end up taking full advantage of. In round 1, again, it's the, you know, Scrap stop shooting just a little bit too soon, opens the gates there for Heretics. But in this round, I mean, just that one moment where the triple headshots rolled through, get a 3 down. It took me an extra second to find that 4th player, but Heretics, as soon as they got everybody stuck in spawn, able to execute after the fact. So I think Heretics, again, a team that has improved pretty consistently over the course of this year. Maybe looking a little better on high rise than I was expecting. Still, though, game's not over yet. Offensive rounds have certainly been problematic, and whether or not they get this one, they're going to have to get one of them because the tick game has not been kind.
Well, they're trying, but They are already back into spawn. That was fast. You can see already Ultra trying to get in position to hold them. Waiting for that last member to join them. Envoy is not going to be here, but again, similar positions for their setup. Vico already taking down Scrap, though. It opens it up a bit inside, coming in an awful lot of pressure and still staying alive thanks to Kleenex picking up 3. Only Real has broken out of the moment, but only as far as Green Top.
And he's not going to survive. Kleenex gets an extra one before he falls. This is a devastating blender setup. I don't even know how you get out of this over the course of time. 35 seconds to do it. There's the double chow coming out, but maybe Envoy, the cleanup crew for the trades, only gives you 1 extra, and there you go. There's the coordination and timing from Heretics. They've at least been able to keep things mixy, but of course, if you're paying attention to Kleenex, he does have a cruise missile secured. One that I'm not expecting him to need in this round.
They're doing okay at the moment, but here's the Heretics. Since they've broken out, they are trading across the map. Looking towards B, and they're going to have to commit as well. This time has gone away from them. 15 seconds, and the Heretics will have to get on the point. They're going to do it eventually inside. The last player really out here to stop this B push. Finds one, looking for the second. It gets a chow, but it's not going to be enough. Lucky's here. Has held them out, though, because the rest of Ultra are just at the door.
Well, Real gives you 2, but can he give you the 3rd? Not by the looks of it. Scrap too quick with the trades, and, well, an extra gunny to boot. Vico meets his early demise. And Heretics, well, hey, they were able to get the 1 tick. Bad news, you're going to have offense for the final round. You're going to have to find a way to either get 6 or just outslay them. Because Toronto Ultra, that is 2 complete and utter dominant defensive rounds.
Well, tell you something. We said we haven't seen a lot of Scrap here, but he's certainly turned up in the slaying department. 5 ticks to 1 as we go into this final round. And look at this. Just poetry and motion. Dives in, knows where the player is. Rechows on 8 health. Vico does not land a bullet as he pirouettes through the air. And Chance, now the reality of the situation is setting in. The Heretics have only found 1 tick off their last 2 attacks. And now they have to win 1 to win the map.
Yeah, they need a good opening break as well, just to make sure you don't end up in the spawn trap at any point in time. You always need 1 player alive past the midpoint of the map if you can do it, and straight towards A. Giant exploding propane tank has been taken care of, so no funny business over towards A. The Heretics taking routes looking for the opening, but Envoy and Scrap completely heads up about it. In the opening break, Heretics so sorely needed, they are completely unable to get.
So a little bit of an advantage here. Scrap tries to see if he can push them back into it, but they're on to B. Will they stack the numbers? Kleenex already calling in. Just trying to make sure they have an opportunity to get out their own spawn and nothing too bad happens towards them. Looking for that player, and he will get Vico as well. They've got to be careful here, the Heretics. They're coming off spawn.
Yeah, it's problematic. I mean, again, rough opening break. You get a 3 down, but you're still back to sort of square 1. But at least you got players pushed up decently far on the map as well, and then you just look at the kill feed and everything just collapses. Last man standing lucky. How quick are the trades? Instantaneous. The teamwork of Toronto consistently on point.
Well, the Heretics, this might be one of their last pushes they get. Playing it slow as they know what's at stake here, but Lucky already finds inside off top heli. Kleenex looking for the player. He's since slit the net. Finds it. Envoy gets another. And now they're just playing with that last one as well. Real by the stairs, still alive. The rest of the Ultra coming off the respawn, but they've done enough. Vico gets away as well. Heretics now have to run, though. They have to get onto a point.
Inside, he wants Vico dead, and now Scrap will be the one that finds him, but he's worried about the guy in your spawn, so the spawners make it to A, but Scrap gives you 2. Kleenex shooting players out of the sky, and a small window of opportunity gets quelched. Absolutely nothing cooking there. Toronto, 3 perfect rounds of defense. You couldn't ask for anything more.
Yeah, and just to show you how dominant the Ultra really are in defense, what is that, a potential 18 ticks the Heretics could have gotten? They had 1 over 3 attacks. Just not able to go anywhere, not able to coordinate on the points, not able to stop the Ultra, locking the door and throwing away the key. But 2-1 to Toronto now as we move into the hardpoint.
And even just to touch on how good Toronto's teamwork and communication and coordination is, I think there was a single moment on an attacking round where anybody on Miami really got past the 50-yard line, let alone towards the spawn. Vikul made it into the enemy spawn to set up for some kills. One single time, he was able to get one kill as it happened, instantly traded out, but nobody else finding any sort of routes available on the map for Miami. And again, on a slang front, you might have only had 5 kills from Envoy in the offensive rounds, but everybody for Toronto, double digits and then some on defense. Just a clinical effort.
Also, I mean, I feel like we didn't see an awful lot of him, but Scrap just putting in a ridiculous performance. For the Heretics, though, I will say this, maybe not high-rise control. It's just, they did okay in the slaying. Like, if you go and look at the damage and everything they were doing around the map, but coordination for these points is not there. They don't seem to be on the same level, especially as Ultra moving forward, really struggling on the attacks.
Yeah, this just proved to be, you know, like invasion control, you definitely need those moments on the attacking rounds, but it's very sort of standard of like what the gameplay and idea is going to be. This is sort of a very open map. It's you're just slaying the entire time. You can jump on anything and have every lines of sight, but like on a very open map like this, it's a lot more difficult to sort of like remain coordinated. It's like the situational understanding. You might be coordinating gunfights with someone across the map from you. So it's awkward, a little bit difficult to orchestrate, and a lot of teams have struggled and sort of had varied success, but Toronto, again, at least on defense, completely on point, but Miami, I think on high rise, they need to be outslaying to find those dubs.
Well, they can at least think about that after this. So, 2-1 as Ultra really just kind of stretched their legs and put Miami away. Moving on to the hard point, though. I've got a good feeling from both of these teams. I said it might be a map 5 before we went into it. Chance, what do you reckon?
If it goes map 5, I kind of like the odds for Miami, honestly. Like their S&D has been in form, and we talked about sort of the map discrepancies of not all their strong maps are going to be in. Well, the one that was in strong form was Karachi. They dominated Toronto in a 6-1 fashion, and they have a 5-1 record on 6-star where they have absolutely picked teams apart. So if Miami get to game 5, I like their odds. The problem is they're staring down the barrel of a Karachi hardpoint against Toronto Ultra, who I believe have a 14-2 record on the year on this map. And maybe, just maybe, if Envoy was still stuck in the 0.5 blender, you like your odds against Ultra on Karachi. However, that has not been the case. Envoy has been absolutely shooting. And if you didn't pay attention to the high rise or for some reason tuned in the past 5 seconds, all of Ultra have been there to back them up. So I think Toronto are just looking to take care of business. You know, take them down on your bread and butter.
Well, going to see if that's the case as Ultra with Envoy. And I will say maybe a little bit off the gas there in that control, but had a first good 2 maps. And that's all you really need when you got shooters like Scrap and Insight backing you up on that long range. So we'll see. Fantastic 1.44 off map 1. They were looking for the same performance going into this next one.
Yeah, and him and Kleenex can absolutely take turns as well. So maybe just Envoy's time to shine, but that is also sort of the dynamic that this team is going to have of anybody will hop the hill at any given time. When things are going well, you'll see guys like Insight with 2 minutes plus inside the point, but if things get mixy, they can absolutely adjust. And make no mistake, I do think Heretics are a lethal threat on Karachi hardpoint. It's just the fact that they're going against a sort of juggernaut squad, but you can see you have great holds, you have great rotations for Miami. The problem is if they ever lose sort of the essence of the game, if they ever fall behind and have one poor moment, not able to break it all. So if Miami plays completely on point, then they have a chance.
Well, let's see who wants it more. It is still important points here for Miami. They will want them while they're in one of the better positions in the bubble. They are not safe. And they can open up with a couple of kills, but only a couple of kills. They will get those first few points here onto P1. P1 is not a game maker, and Envoy somehow still gets that kill.
They're ready for the trades too. They're hunting vehicle down. You see Scrap flying in forward and Insight basically just bait, but perfect position to lay down and sort of slow the pace down just a little bit. And I mean, Heretics, pretty strong start on P1, get a nice little lead, but the Scrap time Ultra should be able to tie it up. And if you're paying attention to the rotation, which Envoy always is going to be, able to get at least one of those kills and maybe just set Scrap up for the next, or maybe Miami gonna hunt him down. Teamwork right now on point from Heretics, keeping these players at bay, and yeah, fierce start as well at 4-1.
Still moving and shooting. Still trying to play it live here. Eventually will go down. There's been a player slip the net though. Insight. He's in the backfield, and I think they're waiting for him. Metals has to get the timing right though. And Insight's going to get him as well. He's managed just to slip the net. Lucky now chasing. The Inside just runs around and becomes a problem.
And Lucky, yeah, you see him like listening to the comms. He spent so much time hunting Insight, and then his teammates are screaming at him where he needs to look. And I mean, Lucky does snap into position, but Insight just making the high IQ play. He quite literally has one kill, and it's the one kill that opens up T2, and really is going to set up his team not just to take the lead, but to stay ahead of rotation as well. Miami 12th overall in breaks. Well, maybe it's not a break if it's only Envoy you have to deal with, but they need to hunt him down.
Insight doing a lot of work here, but now the rotation is on. Can Envoy be the hero they need? Waits, finds the first, tries to stay alive,
got him.
Not get out of it. And this means that Ultra will have a much harder time breaking this now.
Well, clearing all your corners, Scrap doing his due diligence, but by the time you check too many things, Heretics run at you, and this is a team that cannot break kills, so when they stay ahead of the game, that is when these guys are on point, and right now everybody's shooting 5 kills completely down the line for Miami, and trying to keep this pressure at bay, but Metals is going to scan, he dies out of the hill, Scrap finds 1, and not just 1, he gives you 2, and that is all 4 down for Miami, and then some. Worst case scenario on the P3 when the man inside the hill dies first.
Thanks, just making sure they get this little bit of scrap time before they move over to the infamous P4. And now Insight just going to wait. He knows somebody's going to push him here. This one, fortunately, has backup in his teammates. And even with this one, Envoy tries to get away. Insight with 4 seconds left. This isn't going to worry too much if he goes down here, but still won't want to. And just dives about. Insight playing a little bit of run and hide. His teammates already at the next hill, though.
Insight has 1 kill. He also has 2 minutes. A minute and 20 seconds. I apologize. Inside of the hard point. So again, when things are going great from Ultra, that is sort of the dynamic. Maybe you want him to have more than 1, but hey, he just went doubled him up. Gets his 2nd kill, and Scrap paid attention to Vehicle when he played on this map. Former teammates gonna take him down, and Insight back in his home. Maybe going for the record. Most kill time in a single map.
Well, at least he's gone neutral. But yeah, that's an awful lot of time. Envoy just pushing out, and the rest of Ultra are happy to slay around him. Insight can't get many kills if he doesn't see anybody. They really pushed this one out as well, Chance.
Yeah, I was about to say, Envoy just wants to make it towards the back, but big wins there by Heretics, keeping all these players at bay. This was a moment where Ultra had plenty of time to play with on the rotation, but couldn't quite get it done. So Heretics, again, they can't break hills, but they can hold them. Down by about 60 seconds as this hill pops. 1 full 60, right back in the game.
Waiting. Ultra find the first kill, and now they'll be trying to squeeze them. And they got the 2nd as well. Like a ripe orange, the juice is going to flow. If Ultra continue this pressure, Scrap will get another. And the Heretics are just being pushed back over and over again. Vehicle will find 1, not the 2nd. And Ultra just swarming through them.
I mean, in perfect teamwork as well. That was Real taking a gunfight. Well, he was taking a 1v2 gunfight. Next man in line had to fight 3 players on Ultra, and the next Heretics player had to fight all 4. Perfect teamwork, and Scrap, the main slayer on the squad, 5 spree in the moment. So he's looking for a cruise in the full 60 that Miami was desperate for. They simply do not convert. Still stuck down by 60 points. They're going to have to get after it right now. They just can't find any success. By the way, Insight already has 2 minutes inside of the hill.
Is this some sort of great game plan they've come up with? Insight, we don't want to do nothing. Just stay in the hill. Don't even worry about it. They get back into it. Insight finds a 6th kill and back into the hill.
This is the objective point of view right there of Insight, just watching his teammates slay out around them, but Envoy out here chasing Ghost, but right now Ultra just doing whatever they want.
Well, let's see how Ultra do feel in the comms, though, with the Toronto Ultra listening.
Yeah, he's low or low.
Go now, come up, you know.
I have mail right now. Good cut out.
Look at good feet right now. I'll get time now.
10, 1 on hold.
One could
Look at single out, mouse.
Hold one shot.
Absolutely.
I singled hold.
That's the last guy. Single on hold.
You can get mail. I'm already mail. They're gonna be close, like
Yeah, I have your front. I'm still weak. He's still single.
graffiti. They could
Stay
go
now, okay?
graffiti, bro.
I have graffiti in the jump out.
Okay,
Elbow
go
open.
Close to me, close to me. Dead. I'm one shot, bro. He's
I
stuck.
push, I
Stuck
push.
his team. Just laying down.
He's in weak.
He's
Top out.
jumping back.
There's two.
Stay alive,
Up,
bro.
Falcon, one pinch me. Look half one Balk.
We spawned
Two
deep
in front
there.
of you.
Calf is absolute. We've got seven up.
Gonna
I'll be
go
weak.
around
One
here.
in calf.
Going around right here.
You can maybe play through mid if you want.
Yeah, give me a sec.
Yo, one's laying cap on me.
I
I say we just try and play for name.
Stun.
Yeah, I'm waiting for you to.
Calf here.
Yeah, I'm already there here.
Dead.
Let's play this time, bro.
Red then.
I'm playing this time.
I've got
Okay.
dubs, okay?
Behind the bar, one shot.
And a bar, yep.
He's in cubby.
Back door as well.
In cubby, one back door.
I'm running it for cubby.
Back door is dead.
Nice and cubby.
I'm cubby, dead.
Nice.
Alright,
Hold
that's
that
good
time,
time,
go,
bro.
go, go.
We can break this
I'm
shit.
going top red, Toby.
Look at single right now.
They're already gonna be close.
Nothing's cross back.
I might go right with scrap, okay?
You can. Nothing cross you
I'm
back.
seeing anything new.
not
Your
sure.
stun scrap? Nope. RG, it's gonna be tough for you then.
Listen, I'm waiting for Jamie to hold, okay? We can just wait for the old time to pop.
Wait, low. Broken. Top broken. Like backstairs scrap.
It could be low graffiti, Jamie.
Take your time.
He is.
Look for it.
Look, graffiti's lucky could be top 3. Holding the right.
Third steps.
I'm safe in it.
Okay.
I'll clear it up.
I'll see
Top weak,
lucky.
he went low.
It's gone barrels on
Third
this
step.
one.
Nice.
That's the guy.
I spawned. There's
Where
one behind you, red, Jamie.
I
I can jump out scrap.
He's pinch me. He's still top red.
There's two left then. There's only two by time.
Alright, 2 dead then. One time.
Time. One shot on the tiles as well. He's
Tiles, low third.
Third dead.
In,
Sweet down as well,
in
down as
bikes, in bikes.
Time's
Sorry,
up. I
mid lane,
spawned
mid
third, bro.
lane.
They could spawn behind your bridge.
Weak on
maybe?
time.
Good lane
Yeah,
somewhere.
spawning.
Wait,
Bridge
one
with you.
dirt on us still. Behind the hut.
I hear.
I can kill. Give me a sec.
I'm living.
That's
Nice.
what Coop. I'm not
Let's
sure
play
this
this.
guy
Right
is.
there. One's back left, yeah.
That's nothing.
Mid cut. Close mid. Weak
Close,
still.
then.
One time and we're
Same
looking
time.
still.
Some hand about still.
That one shot at a time.
Just run
Well,
it.
that's
absolutely mind the bar.
We spawn bridge. They're behind you guys. Dirt.
That monkey crossing now. Crossing now.
Trying to get church quick.
I have third.
Top towers. Top towers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Vic was top
I
towers.
wonder-
Alright, let's go top towers.
I have all the church.
That's one
seeing
Coop still.
Mid dead.
It's mid cut. That's Hobby.
There you go.
What's
I
it? Front
can't
half
tell.
on you. Vic, very dead. Need you
See
cross
Javi
now.
anywhere, bro?
I have my ult.
Lead
You
third.
could have got bridge, bro. I fucking spawned Coop.
I'll see
Look
him.
for it.
Low church for me.
Love you all as well.
Low church. I don't know where Javi's
Ivy
at, bro.
above.
Low church.
Dumpster now. Weak dumpster, bro.
Still look for Javi.
Go mid.
Okay, yeah.
He's
P1 dead.
Nice. Stay left. Stay
Nice.
left.
Top long and on time.
Don't push scrap.
I'll see him on time.
Spawning bus. Spawning bus.
Front out time. What? Market dead. I'm so
Spawning bus.
That is fridge. I'll get market quick.
Yeah, market. Yeah, market.
Ready market.
Well, there is Ultra with their traditional screaming roar of comms. But I'll tell you something, this game has got a little bit tight. They certainly are not having it all their way.
Yeah, and you just two teams playing with very different energies as well, right? That is the typical Toronto, but you do have a bit of fierceness in the gameplay for Miami. Unfortunately for Yao, he is the last man standing, and I don't think he's going to be standing for too long. Maybe just enough to buy his teammates some time to get towards the old time, but the problem is the new. Guys like Scrap way ahead of the rotation, but the problem is has to keep 2 players at base, so Vico trying to hunt him down. Half HP though, and he can't heal. The stuns on point. Toronto chucking those off his spawn, and Scrap, well, been alive the entire time. You see how difficult he's been to weed out.
I know Insight's doing the correct job and holding the right cut, but I really want him to get back in the hill. But
Yeah, please.
it doesn't matter, because they're in here. Ultra are locked and loaded. Looks like Insight now going to be holding that mid-cut. Envoy has pushed this out some distance. Scrap will be calling in the cruise as well. They are trying to end this game right here.
And they're going to be able to. Everybody going to be stuck inside so far away from the time. And Heretics, well, never really been able to break the hills on this map. And against Toronto, that much more difficult. Metal's going to fall as well. And just 10 seconds left. And Ultra walking away with a clean 3-1.
Yeah, it's pretty easy in the end, although Heretics got an awful lot of time. Eventually, Scrap has just gone to work. He's 28-17, a 10 streak for him. Gets the last little bit of time as well. And I don't know what he's saying, but it's probably, well, that was a good game, guys. It was very enjoyable. Thanks for all joining me.
Yeah, definitely not anything in Spanish. Nothing targeted there as well. Scrap always respectful to his competition immediately after the game ends. But man finished on the 10 spree. He can talk his talk because he's been to back it up as well. But Ultra, again, on point on Karachi. The game might have felt close, but you go into a junkyard hill and the hold is just done perfectly by Ultra. Insight, though, gonna be honest, trolled it. Didn't even get 3 minutes of hill time. What a scrub. What was he doing at the end? Trying to get kills. Why bother?
That's what me and you were talking about during the listening as well. We just wanted him to get back in the hill and get no kills. Unfortunately, Scrap, you know, he tried to get it. At one point, I think he had 2 minutes 30 in the hill, and the rest of his team had 23 seconds combined. So just a ridiculous difference. Obviously, in the end, they had to win the game. You had to play it correctly, but it was a good watch.
Yeah, and I will say that just means Purge's record completely untouched. Insight maybe thought about it, but ended up falling short by 40 seconds, excuse me. So the objective mastermind that is Purge, again, his record remains intact. But solid stuff from Ultra through and through. S&D is definitely going to be a concern for this team. Still getting picked apart in a 6-1 fashion. Getting clutched on in a 2v4 is never going to be a good sign. But either way, they're still trying to flex the map pool a little bit on high rise, where their defense is an absolute spectacle. On point on